Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with baby Winston and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Winston's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed. And the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Winston's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and Rich is going to instruct you how to best use that during your follow-up training session. Now Winston is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, getting lots of loves. And for anybody watching this video who doesn't know Winston, he is only 4.5 months old, so he is growing rapidly and he's doing a great job. The first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, which is extremely important with your giant breeds, and the command is Winston, heel.
Winston, heel.
Now, heeling is proper leash walking, and that means walking calmly next to your left leg, not forging ahead or lagging behind, but matching pace with you. If he's not paying attention or he starts to drift off, you are going to see Rich not only verbally kind of encourage him to pay attention, but maybe gently use his left hand to just remind him, like, hey, you're supposed to be up here with me. Because of his age, he's easily distracted. He's been taught to sit automatically when you stop walking, so that when you stop to cross the street or talk to a neighbor, he should be sitting quietly at your left and waiting for his next command. Nice automatic sit. And the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. You're going to start out at about 30 seconds and you're going to work all the way up slowly to 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him, and Winston has been taught to sit there until Rich gets back to his shoulders. He stops at his shoulders and then gives him another command. Tells him to heel again, and Winston waits for Rich to step off, and he steps off at the same time. He's growing like a weed. He's all legs. When Rich turns, he should turn. He should be focused enough to stay with his trainer at all times, even if Rich throws in those turns. When Rich stops, he sits. We don't expect military from these big babies. They're very gangly and they're uncoordinated. So we don't expect him to be military on those sits. These stationary exercises help to develop self-control and maturity, so practice indoors as well as outdoors. This time, instead of returning back to him, Rich is going to demonstrate the come on command. Winston should come and sit right in front. Now, if he's getting all silly and sitting... Oh, there was a fly, I'm sorry. Rich will make him do it again. He doesn't get to get off without doing it properly, so he just walks him out of it, goes back, and this is what you do when your puppy gets distracted. You make him do these commands because he knows these, and he doesn't get to not do them. And see, that was great. He came right in, went back to heel, and sat down, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. So when you're working with him, don't lose your temper. He's going to go through hundreds of developmental stages, as you well know, until he matures. And as long as you're consistent, this will be for his lifetime. Rich leaves him in another sit-stay. And you can practice these exercises indoors as well as outdoors. Rich leans in, he lightens his tone of voice. He goes back to heel and back sitting. And this little bit of working, believe it or not, tires him, which is good. It exercises his brain, tires out his body, because he's having to think. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is going to be the down from a heel position. So with the puppy seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Now if he's acting too distracted, you saw Rich say no, took a step in to correct him. And I think there must be bugs back here. When Rich returns back to him on this command, he's going to walk around him exactly as he did on the sit-stay, returning all the way back to his shoulders. He gives him a pat for praise, and they take off heeling again. And Rich will demonstrate that down from a heel position again for you. I've owned Great Danes. I honestly think that for a puppy his size and his age, he's doing extremely well. He could use a little bit more focus, but that's age related. That was a good down stay. And Rich is watching him constantly and making sure if he starts to see Winston get distracted, he throws that no out there. He doesn't wait for him to make a mistake. This time he calls him in from that down. There we go. Good boy, buddy. Now the last command that we're going to be demonstrating for you is a little bit harder, and that is your down from a distance. Rich leaves him in a sit-stay and turns to face him. He doesn't go too far away at this point. Down. And then he gives him the down command, and that was perfect. You're going to be able to lengthen out your distance with that command as you're working with him. Now we've demonstrated for you all of Winston's formal on-leash obedience commands. We're very proud of his accomplishments. He has done a great job. Rich gives an amazing lesson, so you can look forward to him spending time with you, explaining everything, letting you work with your puppy, answer all your questions. We want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company. We've enjoyed every minute with Winston. We'll see you soon.